Hello there. A little over a week ago, I asked you guys to give me 3 random words, and so today I'm going to be building something in Bloxburg based on those 3 words. So the first set of 3 words comes from Delilah. We have chair, pink, and book. But before we start, we need a game plan. So since the first word is chair, I think we should build a chair. I think that's pretty fitting. And it's obviously gotta be pink. And then I'm thinking for like the legs of the chairs, we can maybe use stacks of books. And then the back of the chair can be like an opened book, and maybe even the bottom as well. And I'm thinking the 2 armrests can be closed books. I think that could look really cool. So let's go ahead and get started. First off, we need a chair, especially if we want this chair to work. I think we can use the mid-century chair. And then we want to grab a stack of books for the legs. We'll just put them there like that. Of course, we're gonna rescale them and then just make a large stack of books, but let's color them pink real quick. There we go. I think that's pretty good. And then we'll just keep stacking books up like this. Oh, and you know what? Before we go any further, why not make this copy and pastable? After all, if we're gonna have a whole like dining table or a whole room full of these chairs, we definitely want it to be copy and pastable. So I went ahead and took a transparent cube that I scaled all the way down. We're just gonna copy another one and put it on top of that. We'll just move that cube there. This cube we're gonna put our stack of books on, and then we're just gonna go ahead and transform this into place. And then as you can see now, if I select the cube, the entire stack of books copies with it. Unfortunately, the chair itself will not be able to copy with the rest of it, but at least the custom structure we build will be able to copy and paste to other chairs. So I'm just gonna keep repeating this process for all of the stacks of books. And boom, there we go. Look at the whole base of the chair is copy and pastable, which is pretty cool. Okay, now we actually got to build the base of the chair. So I'm thinking we'll just take a cube, and then we'll just make this cube cover the entire base of the chair. Of course, flatten it down, and this will kind of be like the back of our book. And then we'll leave this exposed so that you can still sit on the chair. Of course, color it pink. And then we also need pages on our book. So I'm wondering if we can just flatten this down a lot, if it'll kind of look like the pages of a book. And then I'm just gonna use these skinnier wedges here to kind of be when the pages go into the center of the book. There we go. I don't think that looks all too bad. Actually, you know what? I think it would look better if I scale these down just a little bit. I think this will be better because it'll give more room for the centerpieces. There we go. Look at that. I think that's pretty cool. And then you know what? Let's see if we could just copy this for the top piece. You know what? I think a different chair would be better for this. Let's see if we can find something a little bit better. Like, what about maybe the rustic chair would work? It does poke through a little bit. Let's see what coloring can do. I mean, you need to be able to click the chair anyways to sit down, so I think this works. Alrighty, that's looking pretty cool so far. Now, the last step is adding books for the armrests. So once again, getting a cube, I think I'm going to scale this down to be the pages of the book. We'll color those white. I think we need to get the size of this right first. And then I could just copy this again and color it pink to be the cover of the book. Just rescale that as thin as it can go. Let's see, will this work? It might be a little bit of a thick cover. You know what? Let's try something else. I think we can use a structural. Like, I think maybe a wooden plank would work for this. If we just drag this vertical plank across like that. And then, of course, just scale it down a little bit and then transform that up. And then, of course, make it skinnier. Oh, yeah, look at that. That's totally gonna work. That's awesome. And then we'll just copy this again. And then we can just move it over like that. And there we go. Perfect. That is so awesome. And then let's go ahead and get some basic shapes. Let's use the horizontal cylinder because we do have the end of the book. So I'm thinking if we just scale this all the way down. Oh, you know what? That's still kind of big. You know what? Let's try a structural because the round rods are much tinier and you can rescale them. So yeah, look at this. I think this will work right here. The standard round rod. Just drag that across like that and then we'll color it white. Oh yeah, look at that. That's awesome. It works perfectly. And then we'll just copy this again, just maybe not make it quite as long because then we'll just move it back a little bit and bring it into the book and then we'll just rescale it a little bit. And I think that'll work. Sort of. It's not perfect. It's a little off. Let me see what I can do. You know what? I think that works. I can't get it much better. I went ahead and just used one structural round rod, just like we did, and I just rescaled it bigger. And I think that looks pretty good. So then maybe just rotate this a little bit, just like that. And I copied one to the other side, and look at that. That is so cool. That's awesome. And if you walk up to it, you can totally sit in it. There we go. That is so much fun. Well, there you go. First one done. We have a chair. It is pink, and it is made out of books. And what's awesome is it's totally copy and pasteable. Of course, the chair isn't, but this whole base is. So you can just copy a chair and then place it in front and go ahead and just grab this cube in the middle and you can totally transform it into place. I went ahead and made some pedestals because I thought it would be kind of fun to have all 5 of the random ideas when they're all done built on all of these pedestals. So let's go ahead and move our pink book chair onto this pedestal. Okay, so the next set of words comes from Neon's X. I apologize if I said your name incorrectly. If so, please correct me in the comments. But this time we have strawberry, duck, and cupcake. Okay, so this one I think will be pretty fun. There's obviously lots of ways we can go about this, and that's what I think is so fun about this. Like, we can make a duck that has a strawberry cupcake on its back, or we can make a strawberry cupcake with a duck on it, or we can make a yellow cupcake with a strawberry on it. Like, there's so many different ways you can go. I think for this one, I think we should make a cupcake, and I think maybe strawberry frosting on the top, maybe with like a giant strawberry or something. And then I think the wrapper for the cupcake can be a little duck. I think that could be fun. So first off, we need a base for our cupcake, and once again, I am going to try to make this copy and pasteable. Let's go ahead and we're going to make a giant jumbo-sized cupcake. So this will be the base of our wrapper, we're gonna go ahead and color this yellow to kind of represent the duck. And then we'll take this beveled cylinder and put it in the middle, kind of as the cupcake itself. And then we'll color that pink for the strawberry part of it. And I think the next step to do, and I think the best way to do it, is to take a structural rod, maybe this large round rod, and just drag it up the cupcake like that. No, that's not the best way. That kind of leads in, so that won't quite work. But actually, what if we rescale this a little bit bigger for now? And then we can take our large round rod and then drag it from the base up the cupcake. I think that'll work. Okay, never mind. That's gonna be uneven. So we're gonna try something else. You know what? Instead, I have an idea, and I have an idea of how to make this nice and easy as well. I think if we just take a cube, once again scaled all the way down, and then we're also gonna go ahead and grab a vertical cylinder, place it on top of the cube, and then we're gonna rescale that as small as it can go, and now we'll transform it, because the transforming part is the part that would take a while. I think just like that, perfect. We'll color it yellow, but then now what I can do is I can just copy and paste this basic shape. Yeah, I think that will totally work. I'm gonna redo it real quick because I want to put one more of these, and then we'll put this second piece right next to it, and hopefully that will fill up any gaps that we have. And now if I copy and paste it, yeah, look at that, there's no gaps whatsoever. That's amazing. So then I can just keep copy and pasting this around, and boom, look at that, we have a wrapper for a cupcake. That is awesome. I love playing with stuff like this and playing with basic shapes and coming up with like newer ways to do things. It's so much fun, and trying to make it copy and pasteable is super fun as well. Okay, there we go, we have our cupcake. Now we've got to work on, we have to decorate this to make it look like a little duck face, and then we need to make the frosting. I'm thinking starting with the frosting, and so I'm thinking how we'll do this is we'll use a horizontal cylinder, not scaled all the way down, maybe something like that, and then just not as long, and then we'll use this to make the frosting, and we'll just kind of like copy and paste it and turn it every single time. It won't be perfect, but I think it'll turn out pretty decent. But before we go any further, let's go ahead and color this. I'm thinking something like that to kind of represent the strawberry, and there we go, we have the first layer of the frosting. So let's go ahead and just copy these pieces and keep going up a little bit, obviously resizing things a little bit because we don't need them quite as big as we go up. And then obviously because the piping had to go up from a piece, I think I'm just gonna turn one of these. I think I'm gonna kind of make it look like the next layer of frosting started from here. There we go, we have the frosting for our cupcake. It's a little bit of a mess kind of, but you know what, that's okay. So then now I think we should try to make a giant strawberry to go on the top. Of course, we're going to use our best friends, the basic shapes. I'm thinking the sphere will work pretty good if we like resize this a little bit, and then of course color it red. Let's see, and then we need the top of the strawberry. I put a little sphere for the top of this, but I'm not exactly sure how I'm going to be doing this. Actually, I wonder if we could just take a bunch of these. Like, what if we just take these and then make them a little bit longer, and then maybe we just transform these? I wonder how this would look. This might look silly, we'll see. You know what, this doesn't look too bad. It's a little off, a little weird, but I think I can play with this a little bit and make it look pretty good. You know what, let's go ahead and add the seeds. Maybe that'll help a little bit. And I think for the seeds, I'm gonna go ahead and use the structural, probably the small round rod, and then just make like a bunch of seeds on this, kind of just drag it up. You know what, never mind, that's not really gonna work. Maybe we can just take these. Oh, you know what, actually I think we can. It's like if you rotate it like this and then maybe move it into the strawberry, that totally looks like a seed, right? I think we can make this work. It's just going to take an awful lot of time. Okay, so I didn't quite finish. It's taking forever. It looks a little weird to look at, I'll be honest. I'm not so sure that's a strawberry, but I tried. It's also maybe a little big, but I kind of realized that too late, so we're just gonna go with it. I do want to try though. I think it would be interesting if we got some strawberry bushes, and I wonder if we harvest a bunch of these and then act as kind of like sprinkles all along the cupcake. Like if I go ahead and take a strawberry and then just place it on here, I think that could look pretty cool. Okay, there we go, and then maybe we can just adjust it a little bit in build mode, and I might put a few more on later just to make it look a little bit more full. Also, this strawberry just looks so weird. Hold on, let me see if I turn this around. Does that still look enough like a strawberry? I don't know which one's better. I think we'll just keep it like this. It's just with all of these seeds, it looks kind of disturbing. I also didn't quite finish it, so I think maybe that's why. So I'll go and place a few more seeds, at least at the bottom, so that looks kind of covered up. Okay, there we go. We don't need to look at the back, right? I don't want to go spend like 30 more minutes placing seeds, because that takes absolutely forever. If I had thought about it a little bit better, I would have probably made these all copy and pastable, so I can now copy this over to the other side, but it's kind of too late for that. But I think this looks pretty good so far. So now for the last part, we have the strawberry, we have the cupcake, we need the duck. So I think I'm just gonna go in the basic shape category and just try to find some things that I can use to kind of make it look like a duck face on the front here. I'm also gonna go for a rubber duck style, not like an actual duck, because I think that'll just look better. So I went ahead and just used this orange vertical wedge here to kind of make like the beak of the duck. And then real quick, while I'm thinking about it, I think we should add a tail. Oh yeah, look at that. Now our duck has a little tail. And I think also little wings could be cool. So we'll just take this sphere that I flattened all the way and then just bring it down a little bit. Maybe scale it in a little bit because I don't think we need it quite that big. And then just copy this down to the other side and move into place. And look at that. I think that's pretty cool. It has little wings now. And then for the eyes, I think I'm gonna just do closed eyes with some structural rods. Yeah, it kind of looks like a he's sleeping. I think that's kind of cool. And then I just add some eyebrows just for like a little bit more of an expression on the face. That is awesome. That is so much fun. I did kind of like make a little bit of a mistake. In order to copy and paste it, we kind of have to use FreeCam to go to the base here. But it totally is copy and pasteable. That is so much fun. Oh, except for the strawberries. I forgot because that's a plant, it won't copy and paste. But it does move together, so you just have to put those on every time. But look at that. That's so awesome. There we go. We have our strawberry duck cupcake. The entire thing is, of course, a cupcake. We have a duck wrapper and then a massive strawberry on top with some like strawberry sprinkles and strawberry colored frosting. Okay, so the next set of words was given to me by Having Havoc. This time we have black, burger, and seeds. So once again, there's a few ways we could go with this. I'm thinking either a burger with black seeds or a black burger with seeds. I think what I want to do is I want to make a burger, color it all black, kind of like it was burnt, and then add a ton of seeds, and I mean a ton of seeds on the top. But I think that's what I want to do. So starting off, let's go ahead and grab a beveled vertical cylinder, and I'm going to use this as the base of the hamburger. Once again, we are going to make ourselves a massive hamburger. I'm going to go ahead and give everything its color and texture now, and then we'll color it all black just so that the texture stays for each item. And then I'll copy the exact same basic shape on top, and this will be our hamburger patty. Just maybe change the size a little bit. And then now to add some toppings, let's go ahead and take a sphere. I'm thinking we can use this as lettuce. I mean, you could probably use it as a bunch of things. So like if we just take like 2 slices of lettuce like that, yeah, I think that works pretty good. And then maybe to add some tomatoes, we'll just take a vertical cylinder. I'm probably not assembling this in the best way either, but let's go ahead and take another sphere and we'll do pickles. Like that probably should have gone on the bottom, but you know what, that's okay. And we'll make these smaller than, of course, the lettuce. And because we're not gonna see the inside of the hamburger, it doesn't really matter the detail on this. We're really just gonna see it from the outside. And then what else do you need on a hamburger? We could add some like onions, I guess, but I feel like that would be kind of hard to do. You know what? We can just take a big vertical cylinder that's flattened all the way and then just scaled up and then just color it in purple, and I think that'll work. And then for the top, we need a hamburger bun. So I think I'll just take this half sphere and then just scale this out a little bit. And there we go. It's not the best hamburger ever, but again, we're coloring it all black, so you're not even gonna like see any detail. So let's go ahead and do that real quick. Let's color it all black. Totally looks like a burnt hamburger, and somehow they even managed to like burn all the toppings. I don't know. We're just gonna go with it. And then now we need to add on all of the seeds, and I'm thinking hopefully a structural will work for this. Like what about a small round rod? Will that work? It goes through it is the problem. We might have to go back to basic shapes. Like I think we can maybe just put a bunch of these on top, just like we did for the strawberry. And then should the seeds be black or should they be a different color? Like I feel like the seeds should stand out, right? So I feel like they should just be put freshly on top. I don't know, it's a bunch of random ideas. We get to be creative and do what we want with it. So I think I'm just gonna do that. I'll just place a bunch on right now and then we'll transform them all into place. Actually, you know what? I'm gonna be smart about this time because I was not so smart about it for the strawberry. And I'm just gonna put a bunch on top of each other, and then we're just gonna do like a quarter of the burger, and that way it's all copy and pasteable. And now I can just copy and paste this whole piece. It wasn't quite a full quarter of the burger, but this will just make things so much easier. So I can just copy and paste it just like that and adjust the pieces that I need to. And we've got to have lots of seeds on this hamburger. Oh my goodness, I think I'm finally done. That took absolutely forever. But there we go. That is our black burger with seeds. Obviously, we have a burger. It is completely black and it is full of seeds, which checks everything off the list. The next one comes from Garrett Handy, who said warm, cozy, and TV. So I'm kind of excited to do this one. I think this one's going to be pretty funny. I'm thinking we get a couch and we put the TV on it and then we bundle it up with a bunch of blankets. Okay, first step, obviously, we need a sofa or maybe just a mid-century armchair. I feel like that's a little bit more cozy. I'm going to go ahead and just build this directly on the podium just because the furniture, just like the chair, I don't believe is copy and pasteable. Yeah, it is not. So just to make it easier, I'm going to build it right on the pedestal. Obviously, we need the main character of this, the TV. What TV should we use? We have like an old style TV. I kind of like this one. Maybe we'll go with that one. Let's see. What other TVs do we have? We could go with this smaller one. I don't know. We want to go with a big one because it doesn't fit. And I think the smaller the better because it looks more comfortable anyways, like more cozy. So I think this old style TV will be the best option. Okay, now we need a lot of different blankets. Just grab all the blankets we can get. I think I can totally use this blanket and then like transform it around. It can kind of be like a blanket along the back of the TV, kind of keeping it like nice and warm and cozy, like it's bundled up in a blanket. Okay, yeah, that's pretty awesome. I like that. And then once again, just getting all the blankets we can find. Maybe some pillows as well. You know what? Maybe the couch would be better for this because that's just a little bit small. So let's go ahead and switch it out for the couch. But I just think this will look better because you can just put more on the sofa and just be kind of off-centered. I just think it will look nicer. So once again, just put the blanket along the back of it. We can put this stacked blanket there. Of course, put this blanket maybe on the edge. Yeah, maybe on the edge over here would be good. We just want as many blankets as we can to emphasize the warm and cozy as much as possible. And then there's as many blankets as we can fit with it still looking nice. And I feel like we should change the color. I'm not exactly sure what color to change it to. Maybe just make things kind of neutral. And then we can give all the blankets like some different textures. Like this texture to me just looks very like warm and cozy. But yeah, look at that. That definitely looks like a warm and cozy see TV. That's awesome. Well, there we go, and we can totally sit down next to our TV. Of course, we have our TV. I'd say the TV looks pretty cozy, and I think the TV is pretty warm. So I think we've got everything. And the final set of words comes from Bloxburg Team 123. We have cat, black, and book. So ideas. The first thing that popped into my head was like make a black cat out of books, but I just don't think that will look all that great. I don't think it'll look all that cool. So instead I was thinking, well, what if we make a black cat just with like a bunch of book features? Like maybe it has a book on its back, or maybe it has glasses, kind of like a librarian, or a bookmark tail. I don't know, just kind of try to give it that kind of book theme. Or another idea we could do actually is we could just make a giant book that's black and it looks like a cat. You know what? I think that like that idea better. I think that could be pretty fun to do. Okay, so first things first, we need a cube. Obviously like our favorite item, and we're gonna make a giant book. So I think we need 2 pieces for the book. And then for the top of the cube, I'm gonna do the exact same thing we did here with this chair. So just scale that out like that, and then we'll take our other piece. There we go, I think something just like that. And then of course gotta color the back black, and then place the other side over here. And look at that, that is a pretty nice book. That is pretty cool. And actually we wanna make this whole thing copy and pasteable. So let me just transform this real quick. And then I think I wanna go ahead and turn this a little bit so it's like opened. And I wanna go ahead and rotate this up just to kind of make it look like our giant book is like open and being read. And then now it's time to make this look like a cat. So the first thing I want to do is I think I want to work on the paws. And I'm thinking for this, the best thing to use would be the beveled vertical cylinder. And then just kind of scale this down and we'll put it on top here, kind of like the cat is holding the book. And then we're going to color it black and give it like this carpet texture for like the fur. Okay, those are definitely not cat paws. Those definitely look more like dog paws. Let's redo that. Maybe we can use this sphere again. I think that's actually looks really nice. And let's go ahead and go to structural. And I think I'm going to use this large round rod and kind of make like the tail of the cat. Actually, let's go with the huge round rod because I think the bigger the better. That does not look the best, does it? You know what? We're gonna come back to the tail later because I definitely think we can make that look better. So let's go ahead and move on to the head of the cat. So I think that kind of works for the head of the cat. I just took a sphere and flattened it all the way down. I think we can use the paws to kind of make ears for the cat as well. Just of course resize it to make it a little bit bigger. I didn't really process how hard making a cat would be. It's definitely not easy. I think if we totally make the inside of the ears doing this. I went ahead and used the same sphere we used for the ear and then just resized it a little bit. And obviously use the transform tool to push it down a little bit so it's not sticking as far up like this is. Okay, and then we need the nose for our cat. So I think I'm gonna use a vertical wedge again like we used for the duck. And then for the mouth, I think we can just use some structurals. I don't know, does that look fine? I can't tell. It kind of looks a little off, but it doesn't look too bad. Okay, no, you know what? Get rid of that. That looks too much like a bear or something, kind of like a panda bear. Instead, you know what we can do? So you can put these two like that, and then another one. How does that look? I feel like that looks better, right? It looks kind of like more like a panther, but I think that's okay. Let's stick with that for now. We can always come back and change it if we decide I don't like it, but I'm gonna go ahead and work on the eyes of the cat. How does that look? I feel like that doesn't look too bad, does it? I feel like that's pretty okay, actually. I realized I kind of didn't explain what I did for the eyes, or really the mouth, I guess. But for the mouth, I literally just took the paws and just put 3 of them, and then obviously for the nose, it's a vertical wedge. And then literally for the eye, I just used a bunch of spheres. I literally just took a sphere, obviously made it a little bit more of a circle shape, colored it that golden color. Then for the inside part, I literally just took the same thing, copy and pasted it, and then just shrunk it to make the inside of the eye like the pupils of the eye. I do want to play with this just a little bit because I feel like it's a little more panther-like than cat-like. Okay, how about that? I feel like that's kind of like the pictures I found. I don't know if I'm gonna get much better, so let's try adding some whiskers. Maybe that'll help. Yeah, I think that doesn't look too bad. I don't know, we're just gonna leave it at that. I feel like when I keep trying, I just make it worse, so we're just gonna leave it with this. But we do need to make a tail, so I'm thinking going back to these vertical cylinders, I think we could do something with these. Well, once again, I tried. The tail maybe doesn't look great, but I kind of played around with it in a couple different spots, and this is the best I got. But I kind of accidentally did it without talking. I took a bunch of those beveled vertical cylinders and just stacked them and rotated them, and that's how I created the tail. But you know what? Now that I'm thinking about it, what if we get rid of this? Okay, I think that definitely helps already. But then what if we take another one? What if we make like a tongue? I know this is kind of random. I was just talking about the tail, but I just thought about this. Does that help? I feel like that kind of helps. And then actually let me play around with this tail a little bit, because maybe I can do something with it right here. If I kind of like rotate this a little bit. There we go. I think that works. I think that's a better spot for the tail. And look at that. That's pretty awesome. I like that. I think that turned out pretty cool in the end. So we have a book, check. Number 1, it is obviously a book. It is also a cat, so that is checked off the list. And it's black, so there you go. We have all 3 words. Well, anyways, that was me building your random ideas in Bloxburg. We built this really cool book chair out of the 3 words chair, pink, and book. We built this strawberry cupcake out of the 3 words strawberry, duck, and cupcake. We built this burnt hamburger out of the 3 words black, burger, and seeds. We built this cozy TV on the couch out of the 3 words warm, cozy, and TV. And then finally, we built this cat book out of the 3 words cat, black, and book. Feel free to do this challenge yourself with all 5 sets of 3 words. I would love to see what you guys come up with because there are so many different ways you can use the 3 words to make something. So if you do this challenge, feel free to join my neighborhood. My neighborhood code will be in the description as well as on screen. I'm not always in my neighborhood, but if you see me in there, I would love to see what you guys come up with. And let me know which one of these was your favorite down in the comments below. I have to say, if I had to pick one, I think I like this cupcake the most. I think that's pretty cool. And of course, if you want the chance of me building your random idea, make sure to comment 3 words down below. Only rules is they must be random. There's gotta be at least 1 noun because I can't build running, swimming, jogging. Like, that doesn't work. So just pick 3 random words that don't usually go together in a sentence, and just make sure it's something I can build. As always, if you enjoyed, thumbs up the video, consider subscribing, and have a wonderful rest of your day.